neglect, oversight, defeat. All these words are just another way of saying failure. But what exactly is failure? Failure is not achieving your desired goal. While this may be true, there is more to failure than what is defined. In fact, failure is not final. It is a process through which a person can achieve success. This means using your failure as a stepping stone for success. I used to think failure was final, but this changed a couple of months ago. I played in a basketball tournament where there were 3 games in 3 hours before the tournament ended. And in the first game of this tournament, I lost 25-45. I had failed. I had lost, but that wasn't just about that. I had never played this bad, and that's why I had failed. I might have failed before on something like a math test, but I always knew exactly which questions I got wrong and what exactly I had to improve on. But this time, there were a lot of areas where I could improve on, and I didn't know where to go. Now, the reason this game hit so hard was because after I lost this game, we ended up playing 2 teams that were a lot better and got blown out even worse. I realized that this game was actually very winnable, that I overthought about it, and that's why I had lost. I wasn't motivated at all to win, and that's one of the reasons. We missed easy shots, such as open jump shots that we could have easily made, and we also turned the ball over often, and it didn't help that our execution of the game plan wasn't spot on, and our zone defense that we had worked on every single day for the past few weeks was completely destroyed. I wanted to improve so badly and win some basketball games, and now I had another tournament coming up in a few months, but this time I was ready to win some games. I wanted to reflect on what I did wrong last time so I knew exactly what I could improve on. I looked back at a video of my last tournament and noticed that I turned the ball over often, so I decided to work on it every single day to start pass faking in practice so that I could get better at not turning the ball over. I also made sure to pay more attention in practice to how I was executing the plays to make sure that I was confident in the game that I could succeed. And to make sure that I was actually getting better at all of this and not just working on it one day and leaving it at that, I would consistently work on it for weeks at a time until I got to a point where I was confident. For example, when I was learning how to shoot free throws good, in the beginning, I wasn't a very good free throw shooter. I would miss most of my free throws, and every time I went to the free throw line, I wasn't consistent. So that I decided to work on free throws every single day and work on it till I made 10 in a row every single day. In the beginning, I would make 10 free throws in a row in about 45 minutes. But I started working on my technique and everything else to get better at shooting free throws. And after about a month, I was able to make 10 free throws in a row in only 5 minutes. Big improvement. I used this method of working on everything till I was confident on every other part of my game to get better at it. Now, fast forward a few months, it's time for the next tournament. And coincidentally, we're playing the same team that we played last time. This time we played a lot better and we were a lot more confident, and we actually beat that team. I used everything that I worked on, and I went from losing, failing, I lost by 20 points, and I used everything that I had worked on to win against that same team. I used my failure as a process. Now, the first step to that process would be acceptance. You have to accept that you failed and know that you have to work on it to get better. I knew that after I lost my game, I would have to work on it every single day. I would have to work on basketball. I would have to practice if I wanted to win basketball games. Now, after you've accepted that you failed, it's time to be positive that you can make some change. You have to be positive, because if you're not positive that you can actually improve, there's a higher chance that you won't actually do anything. Now, after you're positive that you can make some change in whatever you failed at, it's time to look at and reflect what you did wrong last time. You can mentally take notes or do something productive that could help you realize what you have to work on. Now after you know what you have to work on, it's time to consistently work on it till you're at a point where you can do it confidently. Now after all of this, it's time for execution. Use everything that you've learned and perfected and watch it work out. I went from losing my basketball game to learning everything that I didn't know, and I ended up winning against that same team. I used failure as a 5-step process. Acceptance, being positive about it, reflecting on what I did wrong, changing that, and executing it. Success does not come from sheer luck. It comes from building on what you couldn't do before, or in other words, failure. Now, as I conclude, I would like all of you to think about how you could use this process and use your past failures and achieve whatever you desire. Thank you.